Good morning, students, and welcome to our YouTube channel once again. I'm your teacher, Engineer Apps. Now today we want to look at something which is very important. This is under indices and logarithm, and I was just given the paper by one of the students so that I can help you to go through it. It is from Kenya Methodist University, end of the third trimester examination. Faculty, Business and Management Studies, Department, Business Administration. Course title is Mathematics. Time is 2 hours. Now, we just want to go through it so that we revise it. We look at the question from number 1 up to the end. So, class, you require to concentrate. Now, since we're just doing revision, I hope that you've gone through the topic and you are okay with each and every topic that you want to look at, because now we shall be just applying, because this is just revision. Now, the question 1 is under indices and logarithm, and the question says, solve the following equations for either x or b, as the case may be. And Roman 1, log of 49 to base b is equal to -2. So you're being required to get a known value, which is b. Now, before you try to do this question, then you need to know the law of indices and the law of logarithm. The laws of indices and the laws of logarithm, so that you can do this. So here we are required to get the value of b. So the first thing here that you're supposed to know is how you can change log form into index form. Log form into index form, and vice versa, index form into log form. So before we look at this question, in case you are watching us for the very first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button, so that the next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Let's go back here. So the question is, log of 49 to base b is equal to -2. So change this one into index form. Now, if you want to change it into index form, then b, this is the base. So it is b raised to -2 is equal to 49. So this is in index form and this is the log form. So log of 49 to base b is equal to -2, but changing it into index form, then it becomes b raised to -2 is equal to 49. Is equal to 49. So when you reach here, this is the negative index. And I want you to know, if you have a raised to -1, if the index there is a negative, then this one becomes 1 over a raised to 1. So this one now has dealt with this negative. Once you've written 1 over, then the negative is gone. So if you have a raised to -2, this is 1 over a raised to 2. If you have a raised to -3, this is 1 over a raised to 3. So that's now what we want to apply here, that this is 1 over b raised to 2 is equal to 49. So multiply both sides by b squared, so that we shall have 1, multiply both sides by b squared, we shall have b squared, we shall have 1 is equal to 49 b squared. So this is like 49 b squared is equal to 1. Divide by 49. Then b squared is equal to 1 over 49. So how do you get b? So b is equal to the square root of that. and the square root of 1 over 49 is 1 over 7, and the square roots are a plus or a minus. The square root of a number, for example, what is the square root of 25 class? The square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. So the answer is plus or minus 1 over 7. I hope you are together, class. Let's go to number 2. Number two, log of 5 to base b is equal to a third. So the same procedure that we have just talked about. So change it into index form. So that is b raised to a third is equal to 5. B raised to a third is equal to 5. Now, class, pay attention. So if you have a number raised to a half, it's like its square root of that number. If you have a number raised to a third, it's like the square root is the cube root. Is the cube root of that number. If you have a number raised to a quarter, it's the fourth root. Is the fourth root of that number. If you have a number raised to 1 over 5, is fifth root of that number, and blah blah blah. So that means if a number is raised to a third, that means it's just the cube root of that number. It's just the cube root of that number. So for you to deal with it, that means you are going to cube. You are going to cube this side and you cube that side. When you cube both sides, then you have b is equal to 5 raised to 3. So b is equal to 120 and 25. I hope you with me. Number 3, log of x to base 27 is equal to 2 over 3. So change it again. 27 raised to 2 over 3 is equal to x. Change it into index form, is equal to x. Now once again, I want you to concentrate, because there is another knowledge that I want to inject into your hypothalamus, and not really, but we can apply what we have learned here, that when you have a number raised to a half, this one is like the square root. That is like the square root of that number. When you have a number raised to a third, that was like the cube root of that number. When you have a number raised to a quarter, that is like the fourth root of that number. So that is now what we want to apply. That is now what we want to apply just here. That is what we want to apply just here. If you have 27 raised to 2 over 3, so that means that we can take a third outside, because this is an index which is a fraction. So I can write it 27 raised to a third, then you remove 2 outside, so that when you open up the bracket, you shall have 27 raised to 2 over 3. Why am I doing that? Because I know 1 over a third, if a number is raised to a third, that means it's the cube root of that number, is equal to x is equal to that. So the x I want means 27 raised to a third simply means the cube root of 27. And cube root of 27 is 3. Then you raise it to 2. So x becomes 9. And that is our answer. The last one, Roman 4. Log of x raised to a third is equal to -4. So once again, just apply it, change it into index form. That means a third raised to -4 is equal to x. So that means x a third raised to -4. So I've just said, when you have an index which is a negative, remove it by putting 1 over. So this is simply means 1 over a third raised to 4. Then now x will become 1 over a third raised to 4. We have 1 over, that is 3 multiplied by 3, that is 81. So x is going to be 1 divided by 1 over 81. And x becomes 81. class is very simple, as such. So question 1 had 4 marks. Each and every question is supposed to award you 1 mark each. So let's go to question 2. Let's go to question 2 very fast. I hope you are with me, class. Mathematics is very sweet, you know. I want you to, mathematics to become part and parcel of you. You think about maths. What you do is all about maths. The way you smile should be maths. The way you walk, your walking style should be mathematics. Everything, should be mathematics. Number B, evaluate. Evaluate. The question is evaluate 15 that. Yeah? I don't want to mention that. 12 2 that, 13 that. So that means that this is under sequence and series. This is under series and sequences. This is under series and sequence. So this is 15 factorial. So this is 15 factorial divided by 2 factorial multiplied by 13 factorial. Now, so this is a topic whereby you can deal with the factorial and combination, but now combination we're going to leave it a little bit. So how can you deal with the factorial? Now, for example, if you have 3 factorial, then that simply means that this number is 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. So this one is 6. When you have, for example, 5 factorial, then simply means 1 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5 up to that number. If you have 7 factorial, then simply means 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7 up to that number. So it's just simple as such. So if you are given 15 factorial divided by that, simply means that if you divide that, then you are going to have, because this simply means 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All over, I'm just doing it manually so that you understand, all over this 1 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So you realize that this one up to 13 will cancel each other. I wanted you to understand something. Cancel each other. Then you remain with 14 multiplied by 15 over 2. And 2 goes here, 7. So we have 7 multiplied by 15. 35. Carry 3. 10. So you get 105. So 15 factorial over 2 factorial multiplied by 13 factorial is simply 105. So far so good, class. Number C, part of it. Number C, part of it. Math is very sweet. It's very, very, very sweet. Part C. The question is find number of terms. Find number of terms in this progression. Find the number of terms in this progression. The number is 2, negative 9, negative 20, blah, 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 comma, negative 130. So you're told to get the number of terms. Now, Now, first of all, if you are given such a question, the only thing that you should understand is whether the question that you are given, the sequence, is a AP or a GP. AP means arithmetic progression or sequence, or it's a geometric progression. So if it is an AP, then it simply means that the common difference it has a common difference. That difference is common. For example, from 2 up to -9, it has gone for with how many, so the difference between the two numbers should be the same. That's the common difference. But if it is a GP, then it has a common ratio that when you divide the first one, the second one, the third one with that, then that ratio should be the same. But now let's look at this one. Is it a AP or a GP? If you look at this, let's look at the difference. -9 minus 2, you get -11, but still -20 minus 9, you get -11. So you see the difference between 2 and 9, the difference -11, from -9 to -20, also the difference is -11. That simply means that whatever we are talking about here is AP, arithmetic sequence or progression. Now, for you now to deal with the AP, you need to know two things. How to get the nth term. How to get the nth term in a AP. For you to get an nth term in a AP, then it is A, n minus 1, D, whereby A is the first term, n is the number of terms, then D is the common difference. Then D is the common difference. So this is the nth term. For example, our nth term also here is -130. The last one is our nth term there that we want to get. So our nth term is -130. But now what you are asked to get is the number of terms, which is n. So that means just equate it. Substitute 130 is equal to A, and A is our first term. First term is 2, plus number of terms is what we want to get, minus 1, and the common difference, that difference is -11. So you get -130 is equal to 2 plus, this is -11n plus 11. So that one becomes -130 is equal to 2 minus 11n plus 11. Okay, so 2 plus that, so we get 2 plus 11, we get 13. So 13 minus 11n is equal to -130. So take this 13 the other side. So we have -11n is equal to -130 minus 13. So -11n is equal to -143. 143. So how can you get n? So n is equal to 143 over 11, because the negative cancel each other. So this one, you get n is equal to 13. So the number of terms that you are required to get is 13. Any question, class? If you are not getting something here, you just raise up your hand, and it will be just explained to you. Okay, the last one, let's not really the last one, but the last one that we want us to look at it here, because the question has got the paper has got so many questions. So we shall proceed next time, but before we end our lesson, let us just look at the last one. The last one is the third term, still under AP and GP. The third term of a GP. the third term of a geometric progression is 9, and sixth term is 243, full stop. Find the first term. Find the first term and common ratio. 4 marks. Now, so this is a GP. You've been told. You're told to get the first term and a common ratio. Now, in a GP, for you to get the nth term in a GP, it is just AR n minus 1, whereby A is the first term, R is the common ratio, then n is the number of terms, then m is the number of terms. So can we just substitute? So for you to get the third term, we are told the third term of a geometric progression is 9. So the third term is going to be AR raised to 2, because remember it is 3 minus 1 is equal to 9. Then the sixth term is going to be AR raised to 5 is equal to 243. So for you now to get A and R here, you divide this and that. So it is AR raised to 5 over AR raised to 2. I hope you'll be together. Is equal to 243 over 9. So this one you get R cubed is equal to 243 divided by 9. What do we get? 9 goes into 24. How many times? 2 times. Bring 18. Remainder. It goes. Okay. 9 goes here. 2. 18. Remainder 6 in 63. 9 goes 7 times. So just confirm 63. 6, 18, 6, 24. Yeah, we are correct. So we have R cube is equal to 27. So how can you get R? You get the cube root of both sides. So R is equal to 3. That is the common ratio. But we are told, we are asked to find the first term and the common ratio. So we have already gotten the common ratio. So whatever is remaining is the first term, which is A. So pick any equation. For example, that is the one. This is equation 2. We can even pick the first one. A is what we want. R is 3. So 3 squared is equal to 9. So 3 squared is 9. This is 9A is equal to 9. A is equal to 1. So A is equal to 1 and R is equal to 3. As cheap as such. So class, let us just end it there. We shall proceed from there in our next class. Thank you so much for listening to me. And before I leave you, I need to leave you with an assignment. I want to leave you with assignment here from just this paper. The assignment is prove that x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a from ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So class, you see this is a quadratic equation and this is the quadratic formula. So we need you to prove that this you can get x is equal to that from this equation. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, may you have a nice day. Thank you.